The follow-up after a first date is rarely as simple as, "I like you, I had fun, let's get together again." There are layers of meaning in texts to unpack, not to mention timing. Who reaches out first and how quickly does the other person respond? It can all feel like a giant chess match. After a fun first date, you might replay everything in your head. Was he really interested in you? Or was he just being nice? Luckily, there are plenty of signs and signals you can look for to help you figure this out. In this video, we'll explain exactly what clues to look for during and after the date to help you get a read on your guy's feelings. If you're ready to solve this mystery, watch now. Know how to present 11 strong signs he likes you after your first date. Number 1. It was easy to talk to each other. If he was engaged and the conversation flowed easily, he was digging you. Were there a lot of awkward silences, or did you both chat nonstop? Did he make eye contact while you talked and reply eagerly as soon as he had the chance? If he was clearly enjoying the conversation, he was probably feeling a connection. Here are a few other positive signs. He turned off his phone so he could focus on talking to you. He wanted to sit somewhere quiet so he could hear you well. He leaned closer and smiled a lot while you talked. Number 2. He tried to impress you. If he showed off his manners or strengths, he hoped you'd admire him. If he opened the door for you, brought flowers, or covered the bill, he wanted to make a great first impression. On top of that, if he was careful not to interrupt you and waited to talk about himself later, then he wanted to show you that he's a thoughtful guy. When he finally did discuss himself, he probably talked about his skills or successes to impress you. He could have also talked about the gym or how active he was to attract you. If he chatted about his career a lot, he probably wanted to prove he's driven. Number 3. He asked lots of questions. If he seemed genuinely curious, he wanted to get to know you better. It's definitely a good sign if he asked about your past, your hobbies, and your passions and was interested in everything you had to say. Shining the spotlight on you means he wanted to get a real sense of who you are. That way, he'd be able to win you over. He may have asked silly or fun questions to get a better read on your personality too. For example, maybe he said something like, "Would you rather be famous online or retire right now?" Number 4. The date went longer than expected. If he asked you for more time, he craved your company. Let's get real here. If he wanted to cut it short, he had a lot of ways to do that. If he didn't make up an excuse or make a quick exit, then you know he was enjoying himself. If he asked to extend the date, you'll know that he was having fun. He may have said something like, "I know we said we'd end at 3, but my whole day is free. What about you? Okay, now that we've had coffee, what about lunch? I'm not ready for this night to end. Let's grab some drinks." Number 5. He flirted with you. Playful comments, touching, and compliments mean he's crushing on you. There are 2 main ways he'll try to flirt with you. He'll compliment your looks and alluring personality, or he'll find excuses to touch you, such as holding your shoulder or brushing against you. He might have also given you a mischievous smirk to tease you. He could have also made little jokes just to create some tension. For example, maybe he said something like, "You are so much trouble." He may also ask a question like, "Are you feeling all this chemistry too?" Wow. Number 6. He ended the date with a hug or kiss. Showing physical affection is a major sign that he's into you. It's a big but thrilling risk closing the date on a really romantic note. If he treated you to some affection or sensuality, he seriously likes you. He was probably hoping you'd savor that special moment and make him a priority moving forward. Remember that how he ended the date depends on his personality. If he didn't go for a kiss, he could be shy or he wanted to respect your personal space. If you both got carried away with your kiss, you can be sure there was chemistry. Number 7. He told you he had a great time. If he gives the date a rave review, he's definitely into you. Listen to the tone of his voice or his texts. If he goes beyond a polite one-liner and is incredibly enthusiastic, he can't get you out of his head. Plus, if he can relive all the highlights of your time together and describe them all over again, then he obviously thought about you a ton. He might tell you his favorite experience and tell you something like, "I was so drawn to the way you talk about sci-fi. I'm dying to hear more." He may also just focus on your personality. For example, he might say, "You are the most fun person I've ever met." Seriously, he could also get a little vulnerable and make a confession like, "I really enjoyed myself, and I'd like to continue to explore our connection. Number 8. He texted or called you right away. This move is his way of being extremely clear about his interest. He won't care about the 3-day rule that tells men to make their date simmer and wonder what's on his mind. You'll know that he won't want to risk losing you or your attention if he reaches out. If he gets back to you right after the date or within the next 2 days, you can be really sure that he's chasing after you. If he sent a message as soon as you got home, he's probably made up his mind and will stick to dating you exclusively to see where things go. If he waits just a little longer, it's likely that he wants to follow up with you but doesn't want to come across as overeager. Number 9. He asked for a second date. This is the clearest sign that he wants to keep pursuing you. If he's the first one to ask if you two can see each other again, then he wants to take initiative and make his interest obvious. He'll be okay with any response because he's so excited that you may say yes. Once he takes the leap, thank him and then congratulate yourself. You definitely left your mark. Even if he brings up somewhere new to go because you've dropped hints, it's still a sign he likes you. If he didn't want to follow up, he could have just said that he was busy. Be sure to give him lots of encouragement for being so bold. You can say something like, "Nice, I was hoping for a second date." Number 10. He connected with you on social media. If he followed all of your accounts, he was eager to stay in touch. It's a lot easier to follow up with you if he can find you online. Did he try to casually ask about what platforms you're on or suggest that you two should add each other? If so, he probably didn't want just another friend or follower. It's more likely that he wanted to open more lines of communication so he wouldn't slip your mind. He might have also shared his own pics or videos to get you interested in his life. He could have also shown you fun times with his friends to get you curious about his inner circle. You can probably expect him to slide into your DMs pretty soon. Number 11. He just gives you a really good feeling. If you're relaxed and giddy at the same time, it's probably a match. If you can't help but smile and you're really confident he likes you, trust your instincts. When two people get together, it's usually pretty clear when their interest is mutual. Just enjoy all the nice memories of the date and all the possibilities that are in store for you. Feel free to text and tell him about your positive experiences. He'd probably love to hear from you. I hope you found these few tips helpful. Why not leave a comment below and let me know what you think. Thanks for watching. If you liked this video, share the love and give it a thumbs up. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button to receive more like it in the future.